It's your first look at the blockbuster documentary that reveals new chilling information about the mysterious death.
Welcome to Celeb Glam. Today we're uncovering shocking new details about the tragic and mysterious death of actress Brittany Murphy, and how a dark connection to Sean Diddy Combs is raising even more questions. Did Diddy and Ashton Kutcher have a hidden role in her death? So let's get into it. Brittany Murphy was one of the most beloved actresses of the early 2000s, known for her roles in films like Clueless and 8 Mile. But in December 2009, her life came to a shocking and untimely end at just 32 years old. According to the official report, Murphy passed away from pneumonia and anemia, with over-the-counter medications listed as contributing factors. At first, this seemed like a straightforward case of a young woman's tragic death due to illness, but things weren't as simple as they seemed. There were too many inconsistencies and red flags that made fans and investigators alike question the official story. The deeper you look into the circumstances surrounding Brittany's death, the more mysterious and sinister it becomes. Unanswered questions. Was Brittany poisoned? As the investigation into her death unfolded, Brittany's father, Angelo Bertolotti, became suspicious of the initial findings. He hired a private investigator, and what they discovered was chilling. A toxicology report allegedly showed evidence of heavy metal poisoning, a type of poisoning that could come from substances like rat poison or insecticides. The problem? This finding wasn't in the initial autopsy report, and it's been suggested that the coroner's office may have missed it. But wait, this story gets even darker. It turns out that heavy metal poisoning had also been linked to Kim Porter, the ex-girlfriend of Diddy and mother to his children. Kim Porter tragically died just a few months before Brittany, under eerily similar circumstances, pneumonia and anemia. The striking parallels between their deaths, combined with their connection to Diddy, have raised suspicions that there may be something more sinister at play here. The most disturbing part of all this is that in the months leading up to her death, Brittany herself had reportedly been acting strangely. Friends and family say that she was becoming increasingly paranoid and fearful of those around her. She reportedly confided in close friends that she suspected someone was poisoning her. Some claim she even went so far as to avoid food and drinks from certain sources, convinced that people were trying to harm her. Her fear wasn't just in her head. Brittany's Hollywood Hills home was outfitted with CCTV cameras and fingerprint recognition locks, clear signs that she was living in constant fear. The question is, why would a young, successful actress feel the need to take such extreme measures? As if Brittany's death wasn't unsettling enough, her husband, Simon Monjack, passed away just a few months later. And guess what?
The HBO documentary, What Happened, Brittany Murphy, alleges Monjack was a con artist and contributed to her death. Brittany's friend, actress Kathy Najimy, appears in the documentary.
During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled and she became prey. We all were scared and freaked out. Like, who was this guy?
And there's this shocking claim.
Simon said that he dated Elle Macpherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was...
He died under eerily similar circumstances, pneumonia and anemia, the exact same causes listed for Brittany. Simon, who had a shady reputation and was rumored to have a history of fraudulent activities, became a figure of suspicion in the months following Brittany's passing. Here's where things get even more suspicious. Despite both Brittany's and Simon's deaths being attributed to pneumonia, Simon Monjack refused to allow an autopsy to be performed on Brittany's body. This raised immediate concerns. Why would a grieving husband block an autopsy? Was he hiding something?
A lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named Freak Off.
The coroner proceeded with the autopsy anyway, but Simon's actions left a lot of unanswered questions. Now, let's bring in Ashton Kutcher and Sean Diddy Combs, 2 powerful Hollywood figures who may hold the key to understanding what really happened to Brittany. Ashton and Brittany had a brief relationship back in 2002, but it ended abruptly, and their split was never fully explained. But what's even more unsettling is that after their breakup, Ashton began a relationship with Demi Moore, and soon after they were seen attending parties that were allegedly hosted by none other than Sean "Diddy" Combs. These parties, dubbed the freak-off parties, have been shrouded in rumors for years. Many have claimed that Diddy used these events to entertain his Hollywood elite friends and that the parties were involved in disturbing rituals and dark behavior. Could Brittany have been part of these circles? And if so, did she discover something she wasn't supposed to know? As new revelations come to light, some have suggested that Brittany may have been silenced for knowing too much. She reportedly feared that Hollywood's elite were watching her, and some believe that she may have uncovered disturbing details about Diddy's alleged rituals or dark activities. Could this have led to her sudden and mysterious death? But even more chilling are the actions of Brittany's mother, Sharon Murphy, after her daughter's passing. Sharon, who had lived with Brittany and Simon in their Hollywood Hills home, reportedly stopped pushing for further investigations into her daughter's death after the toxic mold theory was debunked. Some have even speculated that Sharon and Simon may have been involved in a cover-up. But what's even stranger is that Sharon sold Brittany's home shortly after her death and stopped pursuing the idea that mold was to blame. Why? What did she know that we don't? Let's revisit Ashton Kutcher and Diddy. After Brittany's death, Ashton went silent about their relationship and about her passing. Why did he stay quiet when others were speaking out? Was there something he was hiding? As new reports surfaced suggesting that Ashton and Diddy were both involved in disturbing activities, questions arise. Could Brittany have known too much about their secret lives? And could that have led to her tragic demise? In the years following Brittany's death, there has been a growing suspicion that her tragic passing may not have been an accident. Brittany's father, Angelo Bertolotti, believes his daughter was murdered, pointing to the high levels of heavy metals found in her hair after a private lab test. These metals are typically associated with poisoning, and many believe they were a deliberate attempt to silence her. But if this was truly a murder, why wasn't the initial autopsy more thorough? Why wasn't Brittany's paranoia about being poisoned taken seriously? And why did Sharon Murphy stop seeking answers so abruptly? The mysterious deaths of both Brittany Murphy and Kim Porter, both linked to Diddy, have left fans questioning the power and influence of Hollywood's elite. Could these women have been silenced because they knew too much about the dark world of Hollywood rituals and Diddy's infamous parties? The dots are starting to connect in ways that are impossible to ignore. So, what do you think, Celeb Glam fam? Was Brittany Murphy's death the result of something much darker than we've been led to believe? Is there a deep and disturbing connection between Ashton Kutcher, Diddy, and the tragic deaths of both Brittany and Kim Porter? Do you believe that Diddy's freak-off parties and Hollywood's elite are hiding something far more sinister? And could Brittany have uncovered secrets that ultimately cost her life? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Celeb Glam for more explosive celebrity stories and shocking revelations.